From Camille did one Leroy, him just a steer out of space. But I kind of understand how I'm feeling now. Oh. Well going, Leroy?
Well going, Leroy, you alright? How we are manage? Anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask.
Right now, I don't even know where I'm going, because I always overseas for the farm. Camille take care of everything I had for me. I don't even know me I go be here. I already done decide say, oh, my money, I'll go towards investment and fear money. I go take care of everything down here. I don't even know me I got access to funds.
Don't worry yourself. Go down to the Administrator General's department. If you know Camille have some money in the bank, they will help you get money from it for bury her. And they will also help you take control of her assets.
So why go after me report it?
Once you bring in the right documents them, the process begin. They will collect all our assets them, pay our debt, manage the estate until all of the minor them turn adult. And guess what? They will assist with expenses like educational, medical, and crucial expense for the children.
Leroy, don't worry yourself. Pinky know everything. So before you go in, we will help you.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah, man. Cheer up.
Be like Pinky, know everything. Welcome back, Sunrisers. Now, the core service offered by the Administrator General is the administration of estates. This process involves numerous steps which sometimes get delayed due to both internal and external circumstances. The Administrator General and CEO in the Administrator General's department, Stacey Ann Catty, is with us again to set things straight. Stacey Ann, welcome back.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
Lovely. Well, Leroy, man, shout out to you for Leroy.
Why?
Because my money get caught upon me no know spot money them there and oh my goodness, and that happens a lot.
All the time.
All the time. So where do they even start?
So give you an example. On Friday, we had customer service day at the office, and we had at least 40 persons coming in, and most of them came for what we call a funeral expense advance.
Yes.
Now, if you have ever had somebody in your family die, right away you have expenses. You need to bury them, you need to buy a coffin, you need to pay the funeral home.
Night.
Well, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story, Kitty, because we do not give funds for 9 nights. So we're not helping you to buy the goats. We're not helping you to buy the white rum to sprinkle on the casket.
No. Look here, we gotta have the bands. We have to have the bands, the duppy bands. We have to have the rum. We have to lay the people to rest, or the duppy are gonna come and backslide.
That's not your part to deal with.
Thank you very much for saving me from that one, Dennis. That's not our part to deal with.
Dennis, you're not taking duppy things seriously.
Well, in another space, like I've seen that happen, like when people say, okay, we are responsible for this. We'll bury the person. And then the people them cuss and say, them not giving nothing towards the 9 night. Them wicked and mean. I'm like, we said we'll bury the person.
So maybe we need to have a 9 night loan something.
A 9 night loan.
Yeah. Something. But Stacey, yes.
That's a whole different department.
No, but
So
you know,
9 nights.
it's important that you spoke about that at length, because that is a natural response that we get at the office.
Yeah.
They have to do all these things.
You have to buy buttons.
Swims.
Swims after that.
Right.
Have a little chicken and bread.
The law provides, though, that we must bury the person, which includes, as you can imagine, the casket, the storage of the body, the preparation of the body, the transportation of the body. And we're going to give a maximum of $500,000 for that from the person's estate.
And they want a $500,000 casket alone.
So if you want to have a glass casket, not a problem, but the maximum you're going to get from the person's account is $500,000.
So Stacey, stop. Suppose they have like 20 million in there. So somebody's saying, but is my baby father and is my husband is my father.
Right. That's an excellent question.
Rich. My father have 50 million Stacey, so I want to hang on for my father something for $500,000 casket not wearing, you know, I said casket by spite.
You know, because it's like
but no one casket, but glass casket, oh, I got on good. No,
so what we do, we look at the person's station in life.
Yes.
So as you said, the amount of money that they have, but you also look at their liabilities.
Okay.
You look at who their dependents are. Because if that person also has 50 children, $1 million per child is not going to take them very far. So we don't want to use all of it to bury them. Yes, they have 50 million, but those children need to live after. And that's a balancing act that we're going to do. So yes, put them down according to their station in life. We're not saying don't have a good funeral for the person, send them off. That's your last right that you're paying to them. But we're also balancing it with what is to come in life.
Give us an idea of the wide gamut of activities that's involved in this term estate administration.
Sure. So the first thing that we have to do is find out that the person died. So we need to have, as you said, the death certificate, the burial order. Then we do an application for a grant. That's what is going to give us the authority to take over the person's estate. We write to all the financial institutions to say, okay, Stacey Ann Carty has died. This is her TRN, this is her date of birth. Tell me the assets that she has with you. They're going to write, tell us the assets and the liabilities. We call in all the assets when we get the grant, so all the money comes in. If there's property, we'll rent it, if it can be rented. If we need to do some refurbishing so it can be rented once a person has money, because all the funds have to come from the deceased person. It's not that the government is advancing funds for this. It's really what the person has that we're taking care of to pass it to the persons who are to benefit. And so we'll rent the property and so forth. Some of the challenges that we have, sometimes a family member has the key and they realize they're not going to benefit and they don't want to give you the key to get into the property. So you may have to now change the locks, you might have to have some interplay with the police and so forth, write them. So sometimes that causes a delay. They don't want to give you the title because they realize they're not going to benefit. Say, for instance, someone is alleging to be a spouse, but they haven't proven that they have a motor vehicle. And you're saying to them, we need to take the motor vehicle. It's a depreciating asset. We need to sell it so that we can invest the money for the children. They might not want to part with the motor vehicle. So some of those challenges, because remember, it's people you're dealing with, you know, and you were having this car for the past 5 years. I know
you just want to come take it. But let me ask you though, Stacey, because you know we're Jamaicans, right? And things, you know, deadlift situations can get very contentious. If, say, for example, the person does not want to relinquish the keys, doesn't want to give you the title, what is the next step? Do I come to you at the admin general, or do I go to the police? Where do I go? And also, when the funds are to be disbursed, for example, a funeral, how quickly does your department deal with that?
So let me start at the beginning, because the funeral is the beginning. We have to bury the person before we start fighting over the deadlift, right? And that's a same-day process. So the person comes in, completes a form of particulars, we have spoken about that episodes ago, has a JP sign it. We write to the financial institution to say this person has died, tell us how much money is there, they let us know. Sometimes they send an email or a fax, but sometimes you actually have to physically go. But all the banks are within walking distance from our office. You come back with the letter, we look at it, and we instruct the bank in writing. You have you have to bring us the invoice as well from the funeral home.
And so you can't just come tell us, say.
Oh, no, because we're going through it item by item, because as we said, there are some things that aren't necessary to bury the person, and so you would not get funds for that. You will get programs, you will get bookmarks, you may get some buttons, but definitely not the other extravagant items that aren't necessary.
Should I get a stretch limb on a chariot?
No, not now.
Stacey, if you make the duffel box, maybe I tell you.
So just, and then we would give the letter, you take it to the bank, and they'll prepare the check or the wire transfer to the funeral home. So it's a same-day process. So that is something that is a same-day process. The thing about contention, somebody not wanting to give up a title, legally there are ways to go around not being able to have a title with a lost title application.
Or can lodge a caveat against it.
Lots of options legally.
You know, I've learned a lot in doing this series. I didn't know that there was a department in government that did all of these things. The thing that I've found myself asking each week is, so how long this ever go on for? Like, you can just take over a person's poorly managed life and rent out their properties in perpetuity. Like, how long does this happen? When do you bring a matter to a close?
So that's a very good question. It depends on how the age of the minors. Because if somebody has somebody who was, the law provides that you can have a baby in utero who is a beneficiary. So that's 18 years that they're a minor.
Yeah.
So it may be that we are taking over and taking charge for 18 years.
Wow.
It may also, and then remember, if the person's name wasn't on the birth certificate, we still have to wait when they're 18, give them a little time to go to the court and prove. So it may feel like we're in person's lives for an inordinate time.
Wow.
But really what our role is to protect person's interest in the estate. And if we were to come out when the child was 5, what kind of protection is that?
Because after people dead, there is no guarantee that adults are going to do the right thing. And so you have to have somebody there, an overseer of sorts, to bring some semblance of order to what is going on. Yeah.
And that's our role.
Yeah.
That's our role.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an important role. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Throwing a partner for the 9-9 the Duppy Bands after each, the Sprat bread and the peg bread them after buy. Yeah, now no Duppy Bands, me, my love. Stacey, they are good house. And the Duppy me. Stacey could have tricked me. Throw the partner after the 9-9 money.
Store that up on your roof.
Me come back Stacey and say, me and Pinky, I go come on Stacey and say, Stacey, the Duppy actually the store on the roof.
You buy a cheap casting.
Yeah.
And the one going on the one.
At the funeral, the body will roll to the casket. Yeah, and I can do the things, you know, when them up here one go down, you know, them one go down this song.
A piece of rain go fall.
But tell Stacey, Beco bury up on the top good part, and Stacey said, no. Only 500,000. You have to bury dug there, and then when the body go down, it now go down.
A rain start fall and pull up the hole.
Jesus! I wanted the money where I dig out the hole drop in there. Stacey cause everything.
Your fault, but 500,000.
Oh, but get your business in order, guys. Word to the wise. The lesson is get your business in order so you can get the funeral that you so desire, that you so choose. But if not, Stacey and her team at the Administrator General has you covered, okay?
Indeed.
Thanks to everybody at the Admin General's Department as well. A pleasant morning to all of you. Now, it's time to take a quick break. Yeah, get back yourself together, and then we return to dive into reggae revolution and social advocacy with the Peter Tosh Annual Symposium for 2024. You don't want to miss this.